Label Radio.
And this is White Label Radio, classic hip hop from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. That was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, The Wash, Before the Year Let Me Ride. And I've been teasing a guest. We have a guest in the building. My man Big Hutch, Code 187.
I'm in the building. What's up? What's up, man?
Man,
What's
so
up, man? It's been a minute.
You was here from the beginning. He was in a small little studio over there.
Yeah, blew up his new money, man. New money, man.
Got a little paint on the walls, got a little
I love
stuff,
it,
whatever.
man. I love it. It's hip hop. I love it. This is what hip hop do.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what I like.
I appreciate that.
I like growth.
You are the first guest that we ever brought on the second time.
Oh wow. Well, there you go.
So you create history. You made history the first time, you made history now.
Groundbreaking.
You're groundbreaking.
Great ground.
We brought you back. I see one thing I respect about you, anytime I've seen you backstage or whatever, you always acknowledge, you know what I'm saying? Because other people they act like I got to reintroduce myself every time and shit. Don't you hate niggas like that?
Yeah, because I know who I know.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I don't know a lot of people, so if I know you, I know you.
Exactly. And you was like, when I seen you at the Outta rap, you was like, yo, I need to get back on the show.
Absolutely.
And I was like, let's do it.
Because I love the vibe. You know, I like people who are about the movement. You know, like cats that really believe in the movement, not just like, oh yeah, I'm just doing it to get popular and bang some broads. You know what I mean? Like I like when I came up here, you knew what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, and you wanted to give your listeners that knowledge. So I'll always do things like this.
And that's where I come from, a perspective of a fan. I'm a fan first, and that's the reason why I do it. I do this because I'm a fan. I appreciate what you guys do, and I want to know questions. So I just asked you the questions that I want to know.
Well, there you go.
So we here, and you was here before, and before we get into the whole Ruthless Records, Jerry Hella movie thing, there was a revelation that came about recently.
Okay.
You said that you was the architect of G-Funk.
That's right.
And you said it so matter-of-factly, and I started doing my research, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
But recently, Warren G was on the Combat Jack show in New York, and they asked him, did he create G-Funk? And he said no.
Right.
He said, I was around Above the Law, Big Hutch, and those dudes, and he gave you credit for learning his thing. He said, I took it to a different level.
Absolutely.
But I got some of my style from Big Hutch and Above the Law.
Right, yeah. And because Warren was a young DJ at the time, and he was starting to get laced up as a producer, and he was highly influenced by the things that we were doing, and as me as a producer, he stayed with me. He lived with me for about close to a year almost.
Oh, he lived with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he learned, he learned the tool, he learned the magic, you know what I'm saying, and he took it to the next level. We never thought G-Funk would go on a pop level. Warren took it to a pop level, which is great, for us, because he's a part of us. That's one thing, Above the Law, we put Warren G and Snoop Dogg in the game as far as the relevance that he had when he actually went to Death Row was because of us giving him that cosign to Dr. Dre. Once he heard the actual demo, then Dre came to me and said, what do you think about the kid Snoop that Warren hang out with? I said, it's kind of dope. I mean, I was trying to help develop him, but some things got caught up with the label at time. Ruthless was kind of in a transition, and they ended up going to Death Row. But they were young hot when they were 213. Him, Nate, and Warren G. Nate Dogg, rest in peace, KMG. Every time we get on the air, we got to do that.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
And Tupac, Eazy-E for sure. But at that time we were all one clique.
So when Snoop recently also said that he wanted to sign with Ruthless, and he looked up to Eazy-E or whatever.
Yes.
So that's because
because he came through Law House. Actually, he was coming through Law House.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me. Laylaw had a company called Law House, which he still has Law House, and he originally brought Above the Law to the table. And then when Warren brought Snoop to the table, we were going to do it through Law House Ruthless. Like we did Above the Law, and at that time, kind of like everything fell apart. Dre was leaving, because when we were doing it, we weren't thinking that Dre was going to leave. So that's how that ended up happening. So half of the clique went over to Death Row, half of us stayed at Ruthless.
So did your name come from Law House? Is Above the Law?
No. It was we were always above.
Okay.
Laylaw come from.
That's crazy.
Laylaw discovered us.
I didn't know that Warren G was over there living with you guys, but he actually gave you. I guess I've never heard that. When you said that, I was like, and I started doing my research. I was like,
and I was doing Black Mafia Life at the same time. Dre was doing Niggas for Life, And like we were comparing notes as producers, you know, like check this out, check that out, check this out. So it was all influences. So once a lot of those ideas went over to the Chronic, it wasn't the fact that the ideas were on the Chronic. It's just the fact, you know, me as a producer and Above the Law and Cocaine never got the credit for actually being the inventors of it, the sparking that style.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like.
Were you upset about that?
Yes, I was, but I was more upset at the people not believing it because Dre did not ever say I didn't do it. He just never said anything. You know what I mean?
You was upset that people not believe it? You wasn't upset at the people that was getting the credit for it?
No. I never, because we were, like with music, one thing, I'm a musician, so I know, like if I hang out with a musician and we're doing blues, I'm going to be influenced by him.
Okay.
If we're doing jazz, I'm going to be influenced. Some of my riffs are going to be like his, you know. Hip hop is no different. It's just, it's rap. It's just the same as music.
Yeah.
So it's influences. So I wasn't mad that Warren or Snoop or Dre and all of them were doing it. We wanted the credit for it. We wanted them to say like, okay, we got this from the homies. This is where things are going. Like people say, okay, I got this hot sound from this person and this is where music is going next.
Yeah.
You feel me? We never got credited for that. And for us to try to have to defend ourselves like 25 years later is crazy. You know, so it's fortunate that people like Warren step up and say the real truth to it. And I have no problem with not getting credit or I'm mad that they, you know, took it to another level. I'm glad they did. I'm glad I was able to influence somebody to take a type of style to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about influences. Don't ever think someone just got something out of the sky, you know, because I didn't get it out of the sky. I got it from old artists. And I integrated it into hip hop. I give the Parliament Funkadelics, the Confunctions, the Ohio Players, and Earth, Wind and Fires, the Willie Hutches, and people like that credit for G-Funk because I integrated that into hip hop. That was my theory. It was just a theory. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I got it from the sky. I went to the rap mountain and conjured it up. You know
I mean, it's kind of like Kobe got his style from Jordan, and Jordan got his style from Dr. J. So yeah, it's the same concept.
Yeah, and I was taught how to make records by Dr. Dre, so I would never disrespect Dr. Dre on the level that where he couldn't be influenced by me. That's an honor, you know. I just wanted my credit, really.
Exactly. Now, like I said, when Warren G, it was dope to hear him say that because like I said, you said it, I've heard other people say it, but it's dope to hear him say, you know what? No, I was over here, and these guys influenced what I did. Right.
And it was just it was at a time, it was at a fruitful time for all of us. And at one time, we were one clique.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that either. They think like when you think about the differences that happened at Ruthless Records, really was between Dr. Dre and Eazy-E. It never was between Dr. Dre and Above the Law and the rest of the artists, and then it was their indifference.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we never had differences as far as like that, like one to one, like, you know, we hate you, you know.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of funking went on in that process, as everyone knows, documented, but not like that, man. You know, like really honest, I could tell you, not like that.
Okay. Well, let's get into some music, and then we're gonna come back and then talk about. We got a lot to talk about, like I said. Like we talk off air, but we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into Above the
Law. So it's good.
It's the real deal. It's the real deal. This is Above the Law, the last song.
Oh, dope.
Let's get into it right now. White Label Radio, Big Hutch in the building.
Hutch,
Code 187 in the building.
Yeah.
Man, I love it. I love it.
Man, this is so fly. They got N.W.A. on the wall.
I enjoy you coming here.
He does it to her.
I enjoy you coming here, man. You always, you know what I'm saying, drop the unfiltered, thoughts. Yeah. I love it.
Well, I love everybody, you know, but I just like me, I've done wrong shit in life.
Yeah.
So is life, you know what I mean? So I ain't here to, slander nobody. I'm just here. If you ask me the questions, I can answer it. This is my take on it.
Okay, so now I'm about to ask you some more questions.
Go ahead.
What did you think about the movie?
I love the movie for one fact, is that it needed to be done and it needed to be told from the perspective of what made the music.
Okay.
You know, I'm big on that, and it showed the era. You know, it showed the 80s and the early 90s, how the police brutality and, what fueled us to make the type of music that we made at Ruthless Records. That's what I loved about it. It wasn't, for me it was very, very hard because, watching Eazy die again, that kind of stuff was real hard for me. And the way they made it, it was produced really good. I was
Yes.
I was surprised that it was produced that good. You know, 'cause it looked great.
You had your doubts?
Yeah, I have my doubts.
Okay.
I thought it might come off like an after school special.
I did too, Lifetime movie or something like that. Yeah,
And
I agree.
It was produced really great. You know, there were some things that weren't in there that I wish was in there. But you know, we still be watching the movie right now.
Like what? Like what? Because I have my thoughts, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts in a minute. But what didn't you like about the movie, or what wasn't?
Oh, I loved every part of the movie. What I wish was in there was the part where the Dre Day and the real Compton City G's, the back and forth situation with Eazy and Dre. I think that should have been in the movie to build up, you know, them being totally out of control with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, they put no Vaseline in there. They put 100 miles of running in there. Thanks for that. You know, I wrote 100 miles of running. Yeah. But I wish they would have put that in there so you guys could see both sides.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when they done it. It's kind of like Dre went to death row. Eazy was just mad about it.
Exactly.
But you didn't have the music to show how he felt.
Yeah.
You didn't have the music to show how Dre felt. Yeah. And that's kind of it. I mean, really, you know, they made Jerry Heller look like he stole a whole bunch of money from Eazy and he was going in debt and losing houses and stuff like that. You know, but I know what that angle was about. You know what I mean? So
what was that angle
that
about?
Was kind of flawed to me a little bit, but not in a negative way. It just was, to me, I think in a picture you can't really show, if you really want people to see how things really got totally bad, you have to show it in that aspect. You can't say, well, Eazy was balling out of control and he just was missing these many millions, you know, to make the audience feel like, oh yeah, you know, he was still up, but he was just missing a couple of million. But it's kind of like TLC really got robbed. Eazy-E really didn't get robbed like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, to me, was like more the Hollywood to really show you like how him and Jerry really fell out, you know, basically. So, and he never got beat up, you know.
One thing about it, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a hip hop fan. I didn't like the movie at all.
Wow.
I liked it for hip hop. I liked it for hip hop because it showed that we as hip hop artists can go and make a movie that's $100 million or whatever.
The landmark part.
And hip hop fans can go do something and not have no problems.
Right.
Because they was all expecting us to go out and act the fool or whatever. You know, anytime something urban happened, they want to act the fool or whatever. So I like that part of it, and I love the music. But I didn't like one thing somebody told me, and they put in perspective: the winners tell the story.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you can tell those from Dre's and Q's perspective.
Right.
All the stories.
Yeah, because you don't have an easy perspective because he's not here, so you can't never tell it from his perspective. You can only tell what you thought.
Exactly
what he was going through.
I didn't like the way they portrayed Eazy towards the end.
Right.
It made him look like he was less than a boss.
Absolutely.
Like he was waiting in this one bedroom apartment for this magical N.W.A. reunion when he was chopping up weed on the table or whatever, and Jay was barking orders at him or whatever, and he was moving out of his house or whatever. They made it seem like he was just this peon, like he's driving down the street looking at this Chronic billboard. Everybody don't know that he's making money off the Chronic because of the contract. So it just put him in a perspective, because I look at Eazy as one of, say, hip hop's most prolific visionaries of our time, as far as businessman, as far as the way he got you guys
and
together.
That's what I missed. Another part that was missed in there, how he was a true boss and how he did run shit.
Yeah,
he was no pushover.
They make it sound like they kept saying like, "Yo, Eazy, dude, Jerry." Is Jerry your employer, or are you? They kept making it seem
but
like
that's symbolism, because when you look at the symbolism part of it, it's like he actually sided with Jerry over the homies. Really.
So then, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to look at things from an art perspective, because they can't. I think they have to. In movies, you know how it is. They have to have a villain, a hero, this or that.
Yes.
Okay. Eazy did some things, but he sided basically reason why I said that earlier is because he was a young executive and didn't know, and he was so loyal to Jerry taking him from where he took him from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you talk about real, sometimes real is heavier for you to see back, and maybe you don't want people to see really your real.
Yeah.
You know, when you're living and tell your story.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yes. And that's why the winners can tell the story the way they
go.
want to,
Yeah.
and they can kind of massage it in a way.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like one thing I didn't like is the scene when Cube left the group and he's going down the escalator, and that's supposed to be you guys,
right?
In the fight or whatever. And it's like,
mm-hmm.
it didn't happen that way.
No, it didn't.
It didn't happen that way. So I know that it didn't happen that way. And what got under my skin the most, besides the Eazy, was the fact that when Cube was in his kitchen and he's on the computer writing fucking Friday, and he was like, baby, his wife like, baby, how is it? Oh, it's gonna be funny, ha ha ha.
Wow.
And we all know that Cube didn't write that shit by himself.
Right.
DJ Pooh was
because all those things are documented. That's what makes it. You know, that's what makes it get a little jaded a little bit. But I think what happened in that movie for us is kind of like the main objective was to make a great movie for hip hop.
Exactly. You know? So if I look at it that way, for hip hop wise, it was great for us to be able to say, hey.
And to me, that's the only way I know how to look at it because it's my life. I can tell you 100 things that didn't happen in the movie, but it was a great movie about our life from a Hollywood perspective. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that when I say Hollywood in a negative way. I'm saying it to where you couldn't really tell that story the raw gutter.
The way we would.
No, you couldn't.
Nah, Universal ain't going for that. You know,
and you might have a fight. You might have a fight at the movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they have to kind of clean it up.
There's a fine line that everybody was walking on. But I'm happy because to make a movie about N.W.A, they deserve it first.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, regardless. I don't care who directed it or whoever. And big shout to F. Gary Gray because he did a great job. But they would deserve it anyway because you have to realize, you guys watch Unsung?
Yes.
A lot of Unsung you see, when you see a lot of these R&B artists, they say they fell off because of what? Eazy-E and N.W.A.
Mm-hmm.
When that gangster rap came in, no one wanted to, you know, all of these R&B artists and stuff like that.
Nah, right? they wanted the rock.
What that proves to you in the whole world is that you're dealing with a clique of kids who changed the course of music.
Without a doubt, yes.
You know, and totally, you know, the theory, the science behind it, how it's done, why it's done this way, why it should be done this way now because it translates into dollars.
Yeah.
That's what was great for that, for people to actually know that, because we get outs. Yeah. Our clique gets outs. Ruthless gets outs in a lot of stuff. And they start talking about other shit that happened 10 years later, and that's why it's hip hop then now. Yeah. You know, you don't even go back to that. It's because of this, and people forget who Eazy was and what he did. And that was great to me. I don't care about the little details and how people want to do it, and from this perspective, I'm glad that people got to know Eazy-E's theory, ideals, is what changed the course of urban music to what it is today. Absolutely. You don't have Kendrick Lamar. Okay? You don't have Snoop. You don't have Gang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't have Eminem.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody want to talk about the holy grail of this and he's the king of the hill and all that. This never happens unless that man does that.
Exactly.
So I'm glad they saw that. Yeah. And I'm glad it's clocking like crazy. You know? And a lot of my family might get mad at me, but we needed that movie. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Ruthless family, but we needed that movie to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so people could see not totally how it went down about all of us, but because our G, Eazy-E, needed to be recognized because people pick over him. People start talking about, you know, Dre, and Dre knows if it's not that, it's not this. I work with Dre. Dre's my man, it's like my brother. But without that, he'll tell you, without that happening, none of this exists.
But why don't you think that people talk about Eazy in the light of a Russell Simmons or a Rick Rubin or a, you know, Jay Prince or whatever?
Because to me he never searched for that. His spirit never bred that. He was all about, here you go, homie, go get that. But why it wasn't like here you go, homie, look at what I did for them.
Yeah. But why don't
you go, homie, look at what I did for him.
But why
those dudes do that. No disrespect, those dudes do that though.
Okay.
I'm this and I did this and I did that. I'm the reason why this. I'm the reason why that. He never was a cat like that.
Yeah.
You know?
He gave it to you and walked away. And
that's right.
Thing.
He never cared about it like that. Because that wasn't his thing. That wasn't his thing to be, I want to be the top CEO and I want to be running things and I want champagne and I want a Rolls Royce. He never was a cat like that. You know?
Yeah.
He would see a guy rapping on a bus stop and say, hey man, I think you got talent. Pick up my car, call me. And he'd be like, man, that bum right there, But he saw it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's funny, but with hip hop, I think it's sad, but it's like a popularity contest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those guys you're talking about, they have made themselves popular beyond what hip hop is. So people think like, oh yeah, Russell Simmons is this, Russell Simmons is that, this person is this person is that. When you look at Cash Money, No Limit, all the different independents, they took the blueprint from Ruthless.
True.
You know, there's no denying that it wouldn't be Death Row if it wasn't the brainchild from Ruthless doing Death Row. That's because of Eazy saw something in him. You dig? There wouldn't be Ice Cube, the filmmaker, to these people. It wouldn't be that if Eazy didn't see that in them. You know, that's a visionary. So I just think he never looked at it like, you know, I need props like this, and he never was a cat like that to me, man. You know,
and that makes sense because you're right. I had the pleasure of being around him a couple of times, and he definitely wasn't the forefront. He chilled in the back with a couple females.
There
and
you
he
go.
Did his thing
Yeah,
and let you guys do your thing on stage or whatever. He was never that guy.
Right, he'll be the first to tell you, hey, I'm just a good idea. I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean?
Well, since we talk about Eazy-E, let's get into a couple of joints that you produced. Any last words?
Oh, dope, yeah. Any last words?
Let's get into a Big Hutch White Label Radio. We talking some history, man. Y'all better listen up. What was the session like when you, do you remember that session?
Yeah, it took forever, man. Eazy wasn't a rapper, man. It took forever.
I heard all the sessions took forever.
1,000 takes.
They pieced it together. You guys pieced it together.
1,000 takes, man. Before Pro Tools, good God.
So you had like what the two inch reel or whatever, and you had to go and splice it and tape over it.
Yeah, well, we just took takes and we just put it together. You know, we get the best of the best and put it together.
That has to be tedious, huh?
Very, very with him.
And the cool thing about it, he probably after he did all his parts, he left, huh?
The cool thing about it, he would follow the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? He would practice it for like a day, so it wouldn't be that bad.
Okay.
You know, just getting the vibe.
Even during this time when they was like, because he had been kind of rapping for a while now, he still took forever.
Yeah, but other writers would write and he had to learn the record first, then he'd come in and do it. You know, yeah, he wasn't a rapper. Easy to tell you, Eazy.
Yeah,
Easy to tell you, I ain't a rapper, I'm a good idea. You a rapper, he's 187, you a rapper, I'm a good idea.
So, if Eazy was alive today, what would he be doing?
I think he'd be making motion pictures, doing liquor companies.
You think he evolved into other
he's
stuff?
a crazy businessman.
Especially now, it's so wide open, right?
Video games. He probably would have. He was creating a Boys in the Hood video game, which to me is, you know, Grand Theft Auto. Because how he described it to me when I seen the sketches of the game, that's what it was like. You know, gangbangers, jack-in, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and he was designing a speaker. You know, Eazy Beats. You know, Eazy subwoofers, Eazy-E subwoofers. Back then, you know, Eazy was on it. You know, he wasn't the only. You know, Eazy was very, very.
Would he still be in music? You think?
Definitely, because I think what Eazy gave to people, like to me, like I never really understood when I met Bone. I never understood what Bone Thugs and Harmony was, but he saw it. You know, and after he laid it and got them with the right producers, I understood it. You know, but it was his, you know, it was his theory. He was like, hey man, some dudes kicking gangster rap and singing, that'd be hard. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like it'd be hard, but let's see what it come back like on tape. See me, I was like that, you know, because I always was into how it's gonna come back. You know, I never was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be this. Let's get them on tape and see how it come back. When it came back, it was incredible. You know,
it was.
Big ups to Bone. I mean, because you know,
it was groundbreaking too. Yeah, now everybody's singing now.
Yeah, because that kind of fusion it didn't exist back then. But one thing that I loved about Eazy was, you know, and why I think he would be really relevant in nowadays is because he always was open to something new. You know, when I came to Ruthless Records, you know, he didn't want us to be a spin-off of N.W.A. He wanted us to be above the law. He wanted us to talk about exactly what we were talking about and do it how we wanted to do it. So I think he would have gave a lot of young artists shots. Like a lot of people, not young artists, Eazy wouldn't have done that. He'd have put them under his wing and he would have brought them.
I mean, that's what he did with a lot of cats.
That's right.
So
yeah, from the beginning, that was his thing. You know, I mean, he discovered Will.I.Am when he was like 13 years old. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the Ant-Man clan. If people don't know, you know, it came up through Blood of Abraham. You know, and they were like young teenagers, like who's these kids? You know, but I never knew after the fact they would be the Black Eyed Peas. Like, you know, but Eazy saw that.
He seen that.
Yeah, he saw that. So yeah, I think he would be. It would be ridiculous. I mean, and plus N.W.A. be back together. you know, we be rolling again, you know what I'm saying, doing it the right way like we doing now. You know, a lot of people be stuck on, you know, like the funk that we had amongst each other, but that was our business.
Yeah.
If we cool with each other, y'all need to be cool with it.
Yeah.
But that was our business, man.
Y'all family, so it's family business.
That was our business. The problems that I had and indifferences I had with my homies and my brothers, that was my business. If I want to be cool with my homie now, let me be cool with it. Because that's the way the big homie wanted it.
Yes.
You know, because me and Q fought or me and Dre had indifferences and we cool again, don't be mad because we cool again. That's how the big homie wanted it.
So you and Q cool again, everything solid?
Absolutely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Because that's how the big homie wanted it. And I was with Eazy until he died. I didn't jump out the window when the car was rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I stayed with him till the wheels fell off. You did? So I know what he wanted. Well, go ahead, bro.
So what's this talk about now? All of a sudden, everybody's talking about this conspiracy theory: who killed him, should kill him.
That's ridiculous, man. You know,
what?
Everything is true on the internet, right, y'all?
So what happened? So was he sick? Was he coughing like that?
To my knowledge, I mean, you know, I can't really say what's in the man's head, but I mean, you know, he wasn't sick to me. I mean, the last meeting I had, which was probably 10 days before he went to the hospital, me and him was sitting at my studio in Inglewood, the Edge recording studio, rolling up some good and just blowing. And he wasn't, you know, he didn't look like he was sniffly, sneezy, and, you know, he was cool. He looked like Eazy-E when I first met him, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, it just, to me, my dad told me one thing. My dad was like, you know, it's crazy because, like, for someone to go in and be diagnosed and die in like 2 weeks or something like that is incredible. Like, he's known people with HIV and AIDS and lived for years.
I'm like Magic Johnson.
And he was like, the money like Eric had, like, why he couldn't be treated like other rich guys are, you know what I'm saying? And my pops told me that, rest in peace, big Diggy, big Rich, you know what I'm saying? He was a realist. He said, man, you know, I suspect foul play because, you know, coming from where he came from, the Motown era, and you know, dealing with that and being a writer and a producer through the times where, you know, there was a lot of rude, shrewd stuff going on to black people in the business. He said that. He said, man, you can't, you know, in this big business, you can't never rule out foul play. So I don't know, you know. But a lot of people speculated that, man. You know, I never saw it coming. It devastated me, man. It knocked me out my socks.
It's sad that, like, our legends, like Eazy-E, Tupac, Biggie, they all got this cloud around them.
Yeah.
That's a mystery. What happened to them? It sucks that they can't live in peace with saying, okay, they passed away from a heart attack or whatever. Yeah. It's always this cloud around our legends. It's weird how that happens.
Yeah, and I think it's sad that they're more thought of about the way they died than, you know, what they done living.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the part that really bothers me a lot. You know, he be remembered as a rapper who died from AIDS, and look at all the stuff he did for everybody in the music industry, urban entertainment at large. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So Eazy worked with everybody. You know what I'm saying? From Slash, from Guns N' Roses to DJ Quick to Butter Law to, you know, he saw where he sat down with the president, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He broke so much ground, man. You know, he was way bigger than the way he died.
That's true.
You know, but we all got to go through something in order to learn a lesson, man. So maybe that was, you know, the real big homie saying, hey, watch yourself.
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah, there you go.
Slow down.
Yeah.
So let's get into the current times now. So you back with Dre now, huh?
Yeah.
So you back with Dre. How does that feel?
Oh, that's great, man. You know, because like I said, you know, it's a lot behind that. You know, it's a lot to it because, you know, there are three people that, you know, brought me into the game. That's Laidlaw, Eazy-E, and Dr. Dre. That gave me a career. You know, two of them are still living. I still work with Laidlaw. You know, he's executive producing my new album. And Dre's, you know.
Can you get Laidlaw in here, man? Because we've been trying to get Laidlaw for a minute.
Oh, man. That's my brother.
He's saying wait till after the book and all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah, you need to let him come up here. Oh, he may come up here with me when I come up with the Black Godfather album.
Okay.
That's gonna be crazy. Me and executive producing my album is crazy.
Okay.
Everybody's on it.
We need Laidlaw in here, so I didn't.
And it's great. And so with being back in those circles, it's normal for me to do music. It's like a lot of times I've done music with a lot of different people, and I just didn't feel like I wanted to do music anymore, like around people. I wanted to just go off and do my own thing. Now I'm more in the circles that I want to be in because I do have my big homie supporting my project.
Was it seamless? Was it kind of like you guys just went in there and it was like old times right away?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we picked up like 20 years ago. You know, we picked right up. I mean, you know, we did Loose Cannons. You know, we did Loose Cannons. I came in the studio like 6, 7 o'clock at night. We didn't leave till I think 6 the next morning. So
wow.
And that was just cutting the music.
And you produced?
No, I didn't. I just was there when they were doing with the musicians.
Okay.
And because the beat was already the skeleton template of the beat was already done, and he called the musicians in about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and put the music on top of it, and then we started coming up with some ideas for the actual song, and then we listened to the music for a day or so. Then we cut the roughs on it, and then we actually started going. It was just me and him on the record at first, and then when X heard it, he wanted to get on it, and that's how X got on the record.
Exhibit sound like a young man on that song. Like when I heard Exhibit on there, I was like, this nigga took it back to like '93. Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, that's by far.
That's a moment for him. He's on a record with Code 187 and Dr. Dre. That's a moment for him. Like he came up on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We raised him basically in the music. He'll tell you that. Big shot the Exhibit, my little homie Exhibit.
What's the session like with Dre now? I mean, back in the days you worked with Dre, he seemed like he's the mad scientist. He got this. Is it the same? What is it like? Yeah, so is he kind of like an introvert? Is he kind of like in this moment where he's
to me Dre works like he's broke. You know what I mean?
Huh, really?
He works like he's broke. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like I want to go home, man. I'm some pussy or something. You know what I mean? Like let's go. He's like, nah, we gotta get this. Let me tweak this last little part. I'm like, God damn, man.
And he on one snare for like 5 hours.
Yeah. He's the Compton record. I came in on the back half of it, but I heard all the records, and I was there like 80% of the mixing of the record, and it was incredible what he was doing. And I assisted him on a couple of days, and there are some things and ideas and stuff like that. And it was like old times. Like he's really thorough, man. Like me and Warren at the reunion was talking about that. He's like, man, you in the studio with Dre? It's like, man, that nigga worked like he broke, man. I was like, yeah, you're right, man. And it's the same to me. I mean, in the late 80s and early 90s, he worked like that, and he works the same, you know what I'm saying, with his success of his brands and everything. Like, you wouldn't believe it, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It lets me know that how I work and the habits that I have is because I come from good people, no matter what the dollar sign is, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, like, caring about the music. I always thought, like my little brother E-Money tell me, like, man, you be working too hard. Like, well, just do it simple like these young motherfuckers do it. Just keep it. And I be like, nah, man, it's not me.
They just
and then I was able to work with Dre again. I was like, yeah, I feel good about my approach because that's my DNA in this music. How I look at it and my approach. But yeah, Dre's it's incredible. If people don't respect the Compton record, I know y'all probably was thinking about Crip walking and dropping the top and all that, but musically, you can't, he didn't miss a beat. I watched him in there, labor over that record, man, like really, really cared. So if you don't appreciate that, you don't appreciate music. No disrespect to the 40 Wops and all these other motherfuckers who do it a little bit, but some of these motherfuckers act like they don't care, and they on big labels and they doing their thing and they got all these spins, but some of that shit sound like they don't care, man. You know what I mean? I'm keeping real. Keep that, man. And I respect them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I respect the music that they make. I love the records that they make, the 40 Wops or whatever that shit is. But some of these people that make these records, a lot of it sounds the same, and a lot of them act like they don't care, man. I watched a guy that didn't even have to show up to the studio. He could have had a hologram come in there and mix his record, and he was in there trying to make sure that we appreciated it for the music part. Not just, I'm going to just throw this out, or I'm going to just jump on a bandwagon what the young cats is doing. He really went in there and said, I'm going to really labor and really appreciate, show people how much I love to do music.
Yeah, sonically, the album, the album I heard, sonically, it's amazing. You can tell he put his touch on there. Some of the songs is kind of whatever, for the most part, but sonically,
it's funny. It's funny to me with music now. Music doesn't move people no more.
I was about to say it didn't move me. It didn't move me.
Music don't move people, but I make music and it moves me. But see, at the end of the day, the perspective of an artist is me giving myself to you.
Yeah.
It ain't for you to be the A&R man when you buy my record. It's for you to say, okay, I want to know what it's like in Hutch's head on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
And you play that and be like, okay, I'm finna get into Hutch head. I'm finna get into whatever 187 psyche is.
So why
not critique the snare?
So why
not
do you think
the bass line?
Why do you think it's like that now? Because
that's what people want to do, and we give ourselves too much space for people to dictate how we should make music. You know, instead of making the music, we're so
and it's so easy accessible now. It's like music's so disposable. So today you do an album, tomorrow they do a mixtape, and it's so much music out there.
And for me, you know, I came up not having any fans. So when you say, oh yeah, that was my shit, murder rap, man, I was writing that shit on the RTV bus slinging dope, man. You know what I mean? I didn't know you would like it.
RTV is the Metro.
Yeah, I didn't know you would like that record like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it from that perspective. So for me to listen to what everybody else is doing, oh, that's the stuff they on, I'm gonna do that because kids gonna like me for that. That's insane. An artist doesn't do that.
No, you shouldn't.
When Louis Vuitton, ladies in the room, when Louis Vuitton make a purse, they don't call y'all up and say, is this cool to make? They make the Louis Vuitton purse and put it on the shelf. And y'all love it, right?
Yeah.
Because what? Y'all appreciate handbags, right?
Quality handbags.
You appreciate quality handbags. That's the point.
And the problem is that the music.
Now y'all can get a knockoff. Now y'all can get a knockoff, right? And still appreciate it, right?
No.
To a certain degree.
She said no. Look, Amalia said no. Hell no. Don't give me a knockoff.
But you know the difference, right?
Yeah.
Because you have an appreciation for it, right?
Yes.
You don't say, "Oh, I wish he would have sold the strap on this way." Louis, I need to talk to Louis. I'm finna tweet Louis right now. I'm telling him move the strap next year.
I might do that. Switch up the strap. I don't like it.
I'm gonna tell him to move the strap to the left this time and put the tag on the bottom.
Probably not.
Because people don't appreciate music like that no more, man.
But
people don't even give it a chance. DJs don't give it a chance.
But the artists are doing such crappy music now. So then it's kind of like they don't care what they put out.
Oh, here's real philosophy.
Why should we care what
hip hop has became so formulated? That's why if you look at 20 songs on the chart, 18 of them are the same people. That's showing you that
are the same crew.
Exactly. That's showing you that corporate has formulated our music now.
Yes.
When it used to be 20 different artists on the charts.
It was diversity.
It was a diversity.
It was a balance.
So you could appreciate it for what it is. So I understand that part of it. You feel me? I understand that part. But here's what's fucked up. You can't differentiate who's good and who's bad now because there's so much of what you're saying out there like that.
Yeah.
You can't tell what
I'm saying.
If you say, okay, well, Dre's record was this, you can't appreciate it because there's not enough of that.
Yeah. There's nothing to gauge it to.
Exactly.
Yeah, nothing to gauge it to because everything sounds like this one thing.
There you go. So when someone does something different, it's like when I look at a person like a J. Cole, I like J. Cole a lot.
Okay.
Because he's one of those artists that has no features, but has hit records.
Yeah.
So does Kendrick Lamar. Doesn't have a lot of features. He features, but he has hit records on his own.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to respect that.
Yeah.
Because that means that he really focused on his craft and people really dig what he's doing. They're open to him.
Yes.
You know, and we need to be more open to different things than just saying, okay, oh, everybody on some club shit, everybody on some turn up shit. No, they're not.
Life is not about
that. It's about that when I'm in a strip club, making it rain.
Now when you're in the house.
But Tuesday night, it's not about that.
No.
You feel me? Sunday afternoon when I'm on kick it ain't about that. You know, so that's what I missed, appreciation.
Exactly.
I missed that, but you know, hey.
Let me ask you a real quick question.
Okay.
You talk about the young cats.
Yeah.
You heard about the Meek Mill Drake thing.
Yeah.
How he doesn't write his own raps.
Right
now, a few minutes ago, you were like, "Thank you. I wrote 100 Miles of Run."
That's right. Yeah.
How do you feel about how they look at ghostwriters nowadays?
Well, to me, I think a writer should never be a ghost. I think that's the blueprint of making hit records. You know what I mean? Where I come from, you know, if a guy came in with a great idea, if you came in the studio with a great idea for me to say, I'm gonna say that. But guess what? You finna get a check for it. You know, and I think that's what's due. You know, I think you may come in and say that, and you might sound like trash trying to say it, but I make it sound like magic that's the thing about it. That's what we've all grown up on. You know, everyone gets caught up into thinking like hip hop was the only music ever invented because they love hip hop. It's been many more forms of music that have been invented, and the writer has been the heartbeat of that particular artist. Those great artists that you love, from the Marvin Gaye's to Whitney Houston and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in hip hop, it's no different. If a ghostwriter, or they say ghost because they don't want to tell nobody, Eazy never looked at it like, oh yeah, I need some ghostwriters. It's like, hey, write a song for me. I want to write a song about me, killing a bunch of people. Neighborhood Sniper. We went in and wrote it. You know what I mean? He never had that ego. I think when people say ghosts and stuff, why are you hiding something? Like,
I think the biggest problem is because that the rapper wants to be considered a lyricist. If you call yourself a lyricist, you can't have a writer and call yourself a lyricist.
Well, can let's take it like this. Can Miles Davis call himself a phenomenal trumpet player if someone else wrote his solo? Yes, he can. Because he has the delivery.
He still plays the instrument.
He has the delivery. Right.
Yes.
Your voice is an instrument.
But I'm saying lyrics
because
the lyrics is the actual concept of the song. So like right now, as lyricists,
Mm-hmm.
you think of Rakim or Nas or KRS-One.
Right.
Now, if you heard that Joe Blow from Bronx,
what I don't
KRS-One,
to answer his question,
Yeah.
what I don't like is when people knock somebody for doing that and delivering it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he gets his job done may not be the way you can get your job done. If Meek Mills can write his own rhymes, great, big ups to him.
Yeah.
If Drake wants somebody else to write a record and he has a hit record, big ups to him. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's wired to rap. He's not wired to, everybody gets caught up in, we're not in the cypher at high school no more. This is a business.
And that's what we talk about. It's a business.
This is a business.
And you need to write hit records.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm saying if you consider yourself a lyricist and you're in a cipher,
Right.
then it's a different conversation.
Right. Now,
you're in a battle rapper.
Now, do you have 100% ghost writing, or did you write some of your stuff and then somebody came in like you and said, hey man, I got a good idea, and you did that? It'd be different if you was on some Milli Vanilli shit, like, where you're not even that rapper. You know what I'm saying? That's not even your voice. Ain't even your voice. It'd be different when it's like that. But that's why I don't get into the ghost writing thing, because anybody who wrote something should get credit for writing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way the game goes. If you did the work, you get credit for the part that you did in it. That's wrong to me.
Yeah.
Anybody that even want to be a ghostwriter be like, man, if I can't get credit for writing it, I don't. And if one thing is this trip, because Pac had this problem at Death Row. He had a problem with, there was a lot of young producers producing stuff over there, and Dre's name was being put on it, right?
Yes.
Well, he came in and he changed that whole way that went, because he felt like the young artists should get their credit.
Yeah.
Young producers should get their credit for producing it. You know what I'm saying? Now on the outside, it might look great for it to say his name on it, for face value or whatever. You know what I mean? But it wasn't right to him, so he stood firm on stuff like that. Like, I don't want my name attached to something, and the little homie produced this beat, but somebody else get credit for it. That makes me look like I'm foul.
Yeah.
So to me, if we come forward and say, hey, such and such wrote this for me, a great writer like, does it really take away from Drake's talent level?
No,
as the performer? It might take away from you thinking he's this hell of a lyricist.
Yes.
From his dome to his heart.
Yeah.
But does it take away from him being an artist?
No, it doesn't.
We're in the business to be artists. We're not in the business to be, I'm the dopest lyricist that does it in the cypher for $10 and some top ramen. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to tell you real, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I think that Meek is a great artist, and I think he should continue to make records like he's making, and don't worry about stuff like that, because he's bigger than that, man. He's bigger than worrying about who's writing another motherfucker's lyrics. I think he's bigger than
It just seems like there's a lot more ego now
Yeah, oh yeah.
than back in the day.
Absolutely.
You said it like it was nothing. I wrote 100 miles running.
Right.
They would all tell everyone they wrote 100 miles running.
Right.
They don't want to say that no more, though.
Right.
They don't want people to know that no more.
Right, I got you. Well, I think ours was based upon more like a family thing, so it was different. No one put anybody in the ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was like you said, it wasn't ego driven. It was more like whoever helped the family make a good record. So that's how it was with us. Like Doc You know, Doc wrote a lot of stuff. It's funny, like, you know, Q get a lot of credit for, he was the writer, but Doc wrote a lot of stuff. Rand wrote a lot of stuff for Eazy, hit records, you know, for Eazy-E and N.W.A.
Yeah.
You know, and they're documented. They're on the records. It wasn't a ghost thing. You know, they're on the records that they wrote. So you're right. It was less ego. You know, now it's more, oh yeah, I did this and I'm the king, and you know, it's like an embarrassing thing. But that's not the way business works, because it always comes to bite you in the ass, Drake. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a blemish on Drake, but it's bad because now people know that he didn't write all this electrifying stuff that he delivered. You know, because he delivered it in an electrifying way. You know, but he's not Jay-Z, he's not DMX, he's not Tupac.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's what you mean. Like, those guys brought themselves to the table.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, like me, I write my own shit usually. You know, unless I'm in a situation where somebody come in the room and say, hey, try this, try that, try this. You know, and I'll try it. You know, because that's music to me.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So let's get into the new joint you just did with Dr. Dre, Exhibit. It's loose cannons, man.
Yeah, it turns out like a movie, don't it?
Right? It does. To me, it's the best song on the album, hands down.
Well, thank you.
To me. And then not just because you're the homie and you hear it. I said that before you walked in the door. So let's get into it right now. White Label Radio, DJ Nails. Let's go. Yeah, that was Loose Cannons, Dr. Dre, Exhibit, Code 187.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I was surprised.
Be surprised.
But I was surprised.
Be surprised. I've done this for a lot of years, you know.
I was surprised.
And I take care of myself, man.
I was
I
surprised.
don't punish myself. I still can deliver, man. I want people to be surprised because I want MCs to get where I'm at. You know, I want them to have a 25-year run and still be able to do it, because I do it how I want to do it, when I want to do it, for whatever reason I do it. You know, and it's because I love it. You know what I mean? I don't, you know. So I'm happy, man, that you're, you know.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
And I'm a hip hop connoisseur.
I'm happy to hear that, man.
Yeah, I was
surprised. You know, when you see me perform live and all that, so you know how I do it.
Yeah, you still entertain. So what's next? What's next?
The Black Godfather album is next. You know, and on Black Godfather we got. Let me see, we got my single. It was called Hustle Hard. It's with E40 and Too Short.
Okay.
So that's the single about to drop. The single's gonna drop in, I think, like 3 weeks. You know, we're mixing it.
We need that. As soon as you get it, you know, send our way.
And the album's gonna have Dr. Dre on it, Scarface, Cocaine, Gift from Goody Mob, CeeLo Green.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Exhibit.
Okay.
You know, it's a crazy record.
Produced by you?
It's produced by me,
Entirely?
Law, S-Class, Guy Lansky, my man from Black Sheep.
Dress?
No,
Mr. Long?
Mr. Long. Mr. Long.
And me. And Chill from CW.
Oh, Chill too.
Yeah.
You got some
Oh yeah, some heat, man.
Like that. Like that.
You're gonna love this one, man. I mean, and it's a trilogy. The Black Godfather is a trilogy. It's the first record. My first record will be just Ren's on it too. The first record will be just a G record. It will be all G's. The second record will be with a lot of the new guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna do, you know, what I'm gonna do is, if this is what I've never done since I produced Above the Law a lot of years and produced myself. I'm actually just gonna 80% of the record is just me spitting, you know what I'm saying, and then the other 20% I'll be producing. You know, and I never open myself up to doing it, you know, like this until I worked on the last 25 songs me and Ken G done for the Above the Law album, which is coming out, which is 25 years of hustling, is the first record coming out. The first 10 songs is coming out, and we didn't produce. I think we only produced like 10% of that album.
Okay.
Battle Cats on that, Chill, a bunch of young producers on that record. It's crazy. You know, but it's the last records that we cut, you know, together. It's the last 25, 26 records me, him, and Cocaine cut together, and that's dropping next year. Then we have the Knowledge Most Great album, the Dedication album, which is another 10 songs, and then we doing the Living Like Hustlers book.
You got a lot of stuff going on, huh?
Next year.
You got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, so I'm kind of busy.
I see that.
Then I got Rock Boy Honeys, you know,
I see
my
that.
internet magazine that's coming out.
I see that.
That'll be coming out. Actually, I have two types of magazines. I have the internet, then I'm doing the pinups, you know, Rock Boy Honeys pinups, which is every flavor of different females that we me and my partner, which is my fiance, we going straight to the penitentiary. We solicited straight to all the guys that are incarcerated.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's called Rock Boy Honeys pinups. And it's every flavor. You like Latin girls, you like Asian, Black, you know, everybody's locked up. You know, you get your own flavor in there. You know, I've been down to ex-con, you know, so I know how it's like. But that's what's up with me, man.
That's what's up. So you all these projects. So when you do a skit and you need a radio personality in the skit or whatever, come on.
And, you know, I do have something that I want you to be involved with. But I'm gonna talk to you about it off the air.
Okay.
I have a network coming.
I'm excited now.
I have a network coming.
I'm
And I
excited.
want everybody to be involved in my
excited.
network because it's about hip hop.
Don't say everybody else. Say me first and then say everybody after that. I want to feel special first.
No, I'm talking about people. I definitely want you to be
Okay.
involved.
There we go. There you go. There you go.
Because I like what you're doing, and it's all about it's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I want to show that on my network.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So where I know you're on social media heavy. Where can you find you? Because you got a lot of different social media handles, don't you?
Oh yeah, well I only got two, and they intertwine. You know, on Twitter I'm the real Code 187,
Okay.
and well no, that's on Instagram.
Okay.
The real Code 187. On Twitter, Code 187, but it's at OG Big Hutch.
Okay.
Same
Wasn't
here.
you was something different before that? Wasn't you like
It was all OG Big Hutch, but I changed my Instagram to the real Code 187.
Okay.
There's too many people perpetrating me, so
And then you have the official above the law one too, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Then you got the
okay.
official above the law.
Okay.
And then you have OG Big Hutch at Facebook, you know, Team Big Hutch, you know, you have all of that. So that's how y'all can follow me, you know. And God bless you, man, for having me here, man.
Man, I appreciate you.
A little bit of my story.
A little bit. You got a lot. You got a lot. We gonna have you here again.
I'm gonna come back with the single, and then I can get Layla in and we can talk about some more of the album.
Okay.
that's coming, 'cause
Okay.
Because the Black Godfather is incredible, man. You love it. You know,
That's dope.
It's what you like. It's what you like and what people like. And you know, I kept it hood, but I got the records for the ladies. You know, but they're my records the way I look at.
Yeah.
You know, I got the records
As
for
you
the
should.
clubs, but
As
they're
you
my
should.
records in the club. They're not like, you know, so like a lot of people say stuff like that. You know, I got phone records, I got deep records, but it's all about expressing myself, you know, to the world because I've been fortunate. So that's why I'm gonna keep making records because I can.
So I want to thank you for coming through, and we like to give our guests gifts. The last time you was here, you know, saying we didn't give you a gift, but you know, saying I'm gonna give you a gift.
I'm playing, man. I'll kill you.
We sponsored by SMS Audio, Famous
Okay.
Stars and Straps.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like you a little famous, like you wear hats. So
I love it.
So
I'm
we
a
know
rocker.
you don't have to be here. So we want to
No, I have
make sure
to.
you. So you come back.
Ask
You
me
know
to
what I'm
come.
saying?
I have to be in
I
my
pre-
family, man.
I appreciate
So I have to
that.
be here.
I appreciate that. So thank you for coming.
Thank you, man.
This is White Label Radio, classic hip hop from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Big shout out to my man Tyrone, Natural Beauty, for coming through. Famous Stars and Straps, SMS Audio, DJ Nails, Mellow One. You know how we get down. But in the meantime, in between time, we are out. Peace.